Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Johnny here from MTB Trail Rider. I am on my way to the trails here at Andrews University. It is again another freezing cold day here in Michigan. It is the end of April. It's my birthday today. Going out for a birthday ride, and it is 41 degrees outside. Should get up to about 50 today. And these are the local trails. Probably got to drive 45 minutes to an hour to get to anything else around me where I'm at besides these trails. You are likely going to hear a lot of frustrations that I have with these trails. So just kind of keep that in mind. To access the main trailhead, so you want to find the Timber Ridge Manor. Now, nowhere does it say that these trails are directional, but they're designed directional. So just keep that in mind. Navigation out here is horrible. I'll speak on that. I'm going to do about a 5, maybe 6 mile ride loop here that I did the other day. Kind of give you guys a little bit of insight, just kind of have a fun trail ride. Can't tell you what trail we're on because we don't have trail names out here. They've got different loops, I guess. This might be a pink trail or pink loop or something. You'll see random arrow signs that kind of give you direction. So these trails are managed through volunteers in the community. This land is owned by Andrews University, but they don't manage it at all. So everything out here is just by donation based, volunteer based. The people who know these trails are people who have lived here and maybe have even built the trails. It's like you'll just see signs that just say 2 mile loop this way, 4 mile loop that way, or you want to do the 6 or 12 mile loop. I actually broke my arm here on these trails right there when I was a kid. So it's frustrating because if there's some features somewhere that you want to ride, they just expect you to, hey, you want to ride this part of the trail, you're just supposed to do the 6 miles leading up to it. Because navigation out here is horrible. The features are only built one direction, but nowhere out here tells you these trails are directional. So you just kind of got to know. So up here, once you get to that, look around. You'll see that you'll see that black arrow up there. Tells you to turn that way. You've got trail this way, up that way, and then straight. You can see another arrow painted on that rock, so we'll go that way. But you got one that goes this way, but this is the way we're going. But what I was mentioning is that there's some features out that direction. Again, no trail names, but just one of the other loops. Follow this fire road, access road up, and I think we'll get to it. The spot, I think, if we stay on this path for a while, at least the cutoff. It just gets more and more confusing the further out you go. But there's some really steep descents. There's like high skill drop out there. So you got to get a ways out there, and most of this trail is fun to ride if you like your cross country or just longer distance rides. We'll do 5 or 6 miles out here and it'll be a nice ride. But if you want like features of any kind, jumps of any kind, this isn't your place. This is for your cross-country rider who wants to come and get some miles in. I know they're working on navigation and getting some more signs put up, and that'll help some, but you'll see spots throughout the trail that I mentioned earlier where their navigation is just 2-mile loop, 4-mile loop, or 6 to 12-mile loop. It's like if you only want to do 4 miles, they want you only doing this certain loop or going this certain direction. So up here is called the Bull or the BMX Pit, but don't let that get you excited, because they're not going to be too happy about you guys building stuff out here. We're going to continue to the right, but I'm going to show you guys this Bull. I grew up out here when I was a kid. So much good potential out here for building. You can come rolling in here. Really nice drop, especially with some speed. Coming in, you'll practically land flat with any speed here. Again, coming in, you could really shape this up, create a nice berm. And this just invites you to a beautiful hip jump. Well, I just imagine that. Building something really nice right here, really high vert, coming down on this side. Oh, this would be so nice. Even shape this out a little bit better. So if you went long, I'm just the new guy coming in here. They've done a lot of work. They've put in a lot of their own money, their own time into these trails, and that's totally cool. They're not into jumps or anything types of features like this, so that's okay, that's understandable. But I would come in here. I've offered to donate my own time building and maintaining features out here, and the comments were, well, I don't know who would ride it, so why would you waste your time? Or people out here only want to race their Strava time and do the loops, so nobody comes out here to session stuff. Well, maybe because you had nothing to session, or maybe that's just the 10 or 15 people that you know. There's so many good opportunities out here to drop in. This is even on one of their trail maps out here, it says the BMX Pit, but yet there's nothing out here. So you got a nice roll in. You could do a tiny little jump right there, ideally just a roller coming in from here if you wanted to come on the main trail, which is through here. The guy was telling me that people don't even ride this anymore because they've closed that trail off because they've created a new route that comes this way. Coming in here, create this good roller. You could pump through here. Ideally, I'd like to do something this direction, but it just lines you up nice. Coming in here, you do a really nice jump right here. Smooth that out, create a little bit better lip, land on the other side. But one thing I've really liked was over here where this tree is. Looks like they've already tried to clean this up. So they talked about wanting to do a jump over from over there, which I think is even more crazy than what I was talking about. But you used to have a good drop in right here. It used to be a lot more steep, but erosion and everything. But come down this direction, or again, you could even come in from here, scoop this out. But coming in through here, come in, I can bench cut a little bit up, create like a, right where this root system is, bench cut that, nice little jump, nothing big, but more for the speed to kind of come out. You're gonna land right in here. This is where you'll be able to come through, build a nice roller right here to get some pump and also help you with gauging your speed. That's what rollers are really nice for, with jumps, for gauging your speed. If you need more speed, you pump harder. If you need less, you don't pump. Coming in through here, create a nice lip. You're jumping over, create a landing about right here with a soft case pad, so in case people land short, roll it right on out. They could then loop right back onto the trail system. Or for more skilled riders who want a little bit bigger jump, same thing right through here, but we're gonna target right through these trees, create almost like a shark fin. It's gonna be nice and tight, threading this needle. Come in here, build the landing up on this side a little bit higher, almost like you're landing to the berm. Same thing, a little bit more technical, a little bit more skill, but you've got that feature. You could come out here, do some awesome wall rides in here too, coming in. Obviously plenty of opportunities for big drops. Working on those kinds of skills, you could get some really nice progression features out here. I mean, this is like the dream spot in here to create sessionable jumps and drops. Clear some of this out, do some drops coming in. You could even do, instead of, if you didn't want to do the hip here, you could just shape this up to being like a fly out, like a step up. Create the jump almost like down here, scoop that down. So you got a taller step up. Shape up this landing, you know, cover this up a little bit, make it smoother, softer. And you got a nice spot to practice tricks, if, you know, that was the thing. But I don't think they want this type of crowd out here. Too much ambition in my mind for what this place wants. So I did a video on Creekside Trails out in Valparaiso and what they're doing at the trail yard, or what the trail yard bike shop's wanting to do. They've got the vision. Those guys out there, whoever's involved in those parks, they're the ambitious ones who really want to grow features, you know. And people out here, like, I don't want to take away from the trails out here. These are really nice cross-country trails, super nice cross-country trails. They need to work on navigation. That's huge. Actually name some trails. You'll get some really good stuff out here. I'm looking at adding on to things that they're not using, like this BMX pit that they have on the trail map, which is nothing. It's just tough. Like, there's so much none of this is used, obviously. You can see nothing. But these trails, technically, that trail doesn't exist on their route anymore. And it's like, I'm not trying to build over their trails. I just want to use space that they're not using. You know, you could build some dirt jumps out here. Use this as a little roll-in. Even actually more out there, right beyond this little section that's really flat right there with no trees. I mean, but gotta be careful though. These people I've talked with, there is no ambition for that. And it just seems like you try to create some solutions or create some opportunities, and they've got some kind of reason why it's not a good idea or why they don't want that. I don't know if they're scared that the university is going to take away these trails from them, which doesn't make sense at all, but not worth the argument, I guess. But maybe someone will see this video and see the potential opportunities that we can do out here. Even where the main parking lot was, it's just like an empty marsh out there. It'd be so nice to actually build like a trails or like skills yard out there where you can have a paved pump track. Man, like, that would be super ambitious, man. Or build those progressive drops that we saw at Creekside, or some other skinnies and things like that to practice skills. You know, we want to improve, be better riders. And hey, you know, like, the more things you build like that, the more people you get visiting these trails, the more money you bring into Berrien Springs. Man, maybe those motels that we had in here won't close down if we had more people coming in here to stay and visit the mountain biking trails here. Something that caters to different riders, and maybe you have little kids who want to practice their skills in like a contained area. Man, but that's just too forward thinking for this area, I guess. Again, who knows what trail we're on, because there's no trail names. We're just following the arrows, or you just kind of pick your trail and don't deviate. You just stay here and until you get back to the car, I guess. So we're on a trail out in the woods. We're about 2.5 miles in. That's about all I can tell you. Here's a section I mentioned where there's a cutoff. There's a trim up here, which is not done to scale at all. I guess you just kind of go off these numbers. We're at number 2, it looks like. But it says I'm at 1.7 miles from where, depending where you started, I guess. Full trail is that way, it's 12 miles. So right now you got to decide, do you want to do the 4.5 or 6 mile loop? Or do you want to do full 12 miles? Man, there's really nice features out there. There's some really steep roll-ins, really steep descents out there, somewhere out there. And there's a really very high skilled drop. The roll-in's really rough. The landing's very steep and narrow. And I mean, it's great. Like, I mean, it's a cool drop. But just go straight that way. And then you get into like an Outer Banks trail loop. Just keep going that way. And just keep going. Somewhere in the next 6 miles in this other loop, I think you'll hit it if you don't get lost, because there's tons of cutoffs and branches and stuff. We're not going that way. I did that and it was like a waste of energy trying to navigate where I was. I was off the bike half the time, but don't worry about it. We're going this direction. If you really want to get to know these trails, there's a group ride Wednesday nights. It's like 6:30, I think. Everybody comes out here, they bring their e-bikes, and they'll do the full 12 miles. And they'll show you around. Good group of guys. It's a no drop ride. They're out here just to be outside and have fun. That's what it's about. But that'd be the way to navigate these without getting lost. This is that access road I told you about earlier in the video. You can come up this and take that trail out there if you want to cut through. If you do want to try to venture out into that other section. Alright, so we just followed that a little bit more. The bowl is over that direction. We're taking the shortcut from I don't know what, but this will loop up to the right. Alright, so we're on that shortcut trail. I think it's part of the orange loop. And this here will loop out and then bring you back to this section. I'm going to skip that section for now. That'll bring you back this way, and it just loops you to this, and we're back on the path. This takes you to what some of the trail maps call the pump track, and this part's pretty fun. But again, it's like they're trying to make it exciting, like we got a pump track out here. This is it. This is their pump track right here. And back on the trail. A fun section. And then here, got an arrow to the right. We're gonna go left. Main trail is that way. Two Bridges loop. Don't know what that is, except that that's called the Two Bridges loop. You don't see that anywhere else on the trail maps. But we're going this way. And main trail, shorter and easier. So I'm pretty sure that loops us back where we were. And I think that'll bring us into the jump trail, but I'm actually just gonna hike the bike up. We're just gonna go up to this right here and turn around and get back on our trail. We got the one jump and then a couple of logs that were probably once jumps. So you got this, just better just to scrub it and absorb it. Got this here, that log jump, another, and you got this right here. Man, coming in here, man, think about just coming in, drop, or coming up to this top section, drop in and go into what we talked about, taking that speed out of this corner, under, up, and top on that edge, drop in for that jump out there, come out here in session a little bit. People want to just do that one jump or one hit, loop back around, keep on going. So many, there's this other section right here. This would be fun. We hit this earlier. Look at this little like sinkhole. We started the trail coming in this way when we first came to the bowl. I think if you came in here and I kind of carved out this section right here, come in with some speed, take that outside line and just like whip around this. Do like a big 360, like big wall ride berm and just pop out right over here on that flat area just for fun. You know, I don't have to take it on any trees, maybe that little branch tree right there, but just come in really quick, zoom. Hey, maybe if people wanted to cut their ride short, you could even come in, do a little pop out right back into this, because this right here, it's a pretty fun descent that we're about to hit. Right here, coming in, let's drop that seat. Boom, boom, oh yeah. You can cut off that way. You can kind of take this up top. I probably should have gone that way, but because I'm gonna shortcut to that area anyways. So this is kind of back here where we started. We came in there for those big berms. We're cutting this way. And we're gonna cross through this direction towards the 2-mile loop. Who knows? Maybe that way, maybe this way. Yeah, nobody knows. Well, somebody does. I'm just kind of showing you guys this is the 5 to 6 mile loop that I'm doing. It just kind of loops around. Oh, there's some deer. Look at that. There's 2 of them up there. Oh. Oh. All right. So we're going back up this way. So you got a trail that cuts from here that goes across. So it's like, I don't know if that arrow is intended for that traffic coming from another trail, or if I should follow this arrow painted on the ground going up this way. This is the way we're going. But you coming out here for your first time, you'll spend more time looking at trail forks, which is even more confusing because trail forks doesn't match anything out here. And I believe this is the loop where we kind of started. There's a big sledding hill out here during the winter time. They do a tubing out here as well. Like, I think they have tubes out here to rent potentially on the weekends, but we're coming up to that. You'll see it on the left side. There's some fun flow sections over here on this part of the trail. This might be the pink loop on the trail map. This is the sledding hill, tubing hill. You can pick up some good speed. They got a big bank down there to catch you. I go left here. Not sure where that cutoff goes to. I think the drop's like right here. This part right here. I think there's another little one up here. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of right here. Yep, that was the one, not the first one. You definitely hit your crank and you'd go over the front if you rolled that with like low speed. Well guys, we're gonna be wrapping up this ride here shortly. We're gonna be coming up on the end. It's already a long video. Pretty much just listening to me rant the whole time. Appreciate you guys listening though. Maybe we'll be able to get some traction out here and get some growth out here someday. Andrews University, you can donate to the trails now through andrewsuniversity.com. They've got a drop down for the trails at Andrews now, which allows your donations to be tax deductible if you want them to. But this is that empty, like marshland I mentioned. This could easily be turned into a skills area. So if you wanted a shortcut to the bowl, which right now I don't know why you'd want to, you can follow that around. It loops around the back. That ridge over there with those trees, that's where the bowl is. But it's like, this is just empty field. I don't even think they do any farming here. It just turns out to be bushes and thistles and stuff, and I'm pretty sure a lot of this is invasive species anyway, so I don't see why they wouldn't want that. And if we talk to the university about how Southern Adventist University is in Tennessee and Chattanooga, what they're doing with their trails on their property, maybe Andrews might want to get a little bit more competitive in that aspect. And I've talked about willing to donate my time and energy into building those features out at the bowl, those jumps and things like that. And just more like, hey, just want to make sure no one's going to come in here and tear it apart if I come and do this. And was shut down. Talks about you know, we don't have enough people to maintain stuff, and it's like, well, I'll maintain it, I'll build it, I'll come out here and make sure that it's put together, and I'll sponsor the bowl per se, and I'll do building videos here on YouTube and donate the time if people want to come help build with me, which several have already mentioned help build with me if I was going to do that, because I've already kind of thrown out feelers out there like, hey, would you guys appreciate this? And several guys were like, yeah, I'd help you come build even. I mean, if we ever get to that point, that would be awesome. Maybe I just go and help and donate my time over at Creekside instead, and I think they'd appreciate it more, and I think they're actually more growth minded in that aspect. So if you guys haven't seen Creekside, I got a video I did on that last week, and that'll be linked somewhere here in this video, I'm sure. So check it out. Thanks for watching, guys.